What's up, guys? Welcome to the Rhino NRG podcast. Excited to have you here today. I've got Olokun with us. He's a local entrepreneur in Omaha, Nebraska, and he's got a lot of cool stuff going on. He's pretty well established, so he's past the startup phase. And sounds like from everything we've been talking about right now, you've been an entrepreneur for quite a bit of your life. So tell me a little bit about what your focus has been on this last year and what are you currently building?
Okay. Well, hey guys, my name is Olokun. My business, Abibisol Business Planners. We create business plans, pitch decks, and we raise funds for entrepreneurs who are looking to scale. My focus for this last year, however, I want to look at commercial real estate because, again, everything is about planning and creating a plan. I had a client, helped her map out what it took for her to acquire her first property. It was a 5-plex in Kansas City. And then from that, it was literally just creating the plan and then go out and looking for the investors, people who will put money into this. And that's where my focus is. I believe it shows a little bit of that social proof to why business planning is important.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what drew you to commercial real estate specifically? Because, I mean, obviously, as you talk about business plans, every business needs some sort of a plan. Mm-hmm. So what drew you? Was it just this client had interest and then so you decided to dive deeper into it? Or is this something you had interest in?
Oh yeah, so the purpose of the business plan, or what I use it mostly for, is to secure funding. And I found that being able to demonstrate that in different ways, and funding not just going through a bank or going through the SBA, which they, like, I think 80% of small business loans they guarantee, but finding ways, reaching out to private investors or raising equity or selling equity in your company, or there are so many different ways to raise money within a business. It just really opened my mind to the ideas of corporate finance and how I can use that for myself. Outside of my business, because I've seen at some point, in order to sustain the business, I'd have to take on more responsibility and hire. And that's not, again, for me, this is just creating a job for me. It is something that I would like to build out and scale. But in the meantime, what are other ways that I can use my talents and skills to demonstrate value to others? And that's where my focus has been.
That's awesome. So we've been talking a lot about like servant leadership and how, being a leader requires serving. If you want to lead from the front, you got to lead by example, and really you're helping others obtain their dreams. But that helps us obtain our dreams because we're helping others, and then indirectly we just end up benefiting each other in the process, which is so cool. And I coach entrepreneurs and I help them obtain the life of their dreams. But like a lot of times we don't know how to do it, so it sounds like you also guide people along that path and help them, see things. And then it sounds like you're learning so much stuff and opportunities for your business, and then which equates to all the people that you're now involved with to help them with theirs. That's awesome. The teacher always has to be the one learning the most.
I learned a lot. What I don't know, I could be pretty resourceful. I believe in strategic partnerships. I'm able to find people that are stronger in areas that I'm not, and then I can have them work with clients as well.
Yes, and networking, man. That's the key component of everything that we are really striving for, because if we have our strengths and we got to lean into those, but man, having other people, like I've got so many weaknesses, so I need a whole team to work on my weaknesses. So with that, do you have 3 people in your life that have contributed to your business development and personal growth?
Yes. First, my mom. She was one of the first people that I did introduce my business plan to, because again, I think that this is a powerful tool to use for investment, for people to look at your vision outside of you talking to them, getting it down on paper, what you do and how you do it, and to attract investment. And she was able to use some of her retirement savings to invest in me. Then also, it's a good brother. His name is Preston Harris. He currently lives in Atlanta now. But the platform I sell my services on, VIP Socio, it's like a mixture between Eventbrite and Shopify. So I found that there were a lot of product-based businesses or even service-to-service businesses on the site. And for being plugged into that platform and being plugged into that network, like he hosts masterminds or different networking groups, and I'm able to pull the bulk of my clients from that platform or from the website, the networking groups. And so that's something that has helped me bring in that consistent revenue. And then my son's mother, she was actually one of my first clients. Her business is Lois Beauty Microblading. And through just the lived experience of an entrepreneur, watching her story and watching some of the things that she came and struggled with, it allowed me to provide value to other clients in similar situations, which there's a book she even recommended to me, which became the basis or the foundational ideas of why I went into business. It's looking at becoming more than the book is the E-Myth, the entrepreneurial myth. It talks about balancing the three roles between the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. But focusing on putting the systems and structures in place, or guide rails I like to call, so the business could begin to operate less and less of the owner. That watching her struggles, being the person who has to do all the day-to-day work, who has to do all the training, and then watching her struggle to put those systems in place and kind of seeing the processes gave me a keen insight on how could I provide value to other people with similar problems. So, yeah.
So, Mom, and then what was the name of the?
Preston Harris.
Preston Harris.
The master
and then
builder.
I love Master Builder. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
that's what he called it, the master builder.
That's cool. I like that. It's a good name. And then I love that you said my son's mother. I love that you showed her so much respect. I want to commend you for that, because not so many people, look at that person that they had a connection with and they tear them down. So I appreciate that you gave her respect. I admire that a lot.
Yeah, she was my biggest supporter. Like everything from office space to the computer I use to different resources, showing me these are some of the groups you need to be plugging into. This is some of the ways you want to market yourself so you can move the ball forward.
Well, not only that, but if she's your son's mother, that's half of your son.
Yeah.
So if this is one thing that this could get real controversial fast, but if you're talking poorly about half of your lineage, then you're actually talking really poorly about your lineage. So if you say, oh, my baby daddy's shit, what are you really saying? You're saying your son or your daughter is half shit. And that's not good. Yeah, so maybe we don't like everything about that person, but we should still understand that that's half of our son or our daughter, and we should honor them and make sure that maybe we don't want to hang out with them, and maybe everyone's like, well, you don't understand who my baby daddy is or whatever. But the thing is, how we talk to our kids and how we talk about their parents is half of them, and then they start to identify with that. So I really want to commend you for everything that you just said. That's very admirable.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
what exactly, how do you view yourself as a human being? How do you think other people see you as a human being?
That's a good question. I appreciate that. As a human being, I view myself as, I have spiritual. My spiritual beliefs are more aligned with Ifa, or African spiritual belief systems, but I see myself as a tool or a servant of God. Because all these dreams, desires, things that are on my heart, it's like, I didn't put them there. I know what I wanted to do in life when I was a kid, and as I learned more and experienced life, these things grew on me. So I see myself as a tool or servant to God. I think other people view me as a very proud and strong black man. I am Pan-African. A lot of my ideology is Pan-African, and that's a political identity as well. It's the unification of black Africans under scientific socialism. A lot of people see me as, well, some people would say that I'm a leader or a thought leader. I don't really see myself as that. I just try to find a need and fill it. And if I see that there's a need, or if there's an area I can help you, I'll do it, because I recognize you as me. We're human. My right hand is your left hand. You're my mirror. And so everything I do for you, I do for myself. So people see me as being very serious and, being a stand-in for my community, help bridging the gap. So people, yeah.
That's good. That's awesome. And so you think that's kind of maybe somewhere where you have to grow to be able to see yourself as a leader?
Yeah, I think I just need to do more. Because they say comparison is a thief of joy, but
Sure.
I compare myself to a lot of strong individuals, and I see what they're able to do and how they're able to organize and move and help people in this world. And, at best, what I've been able to do is just contribute. Any of the little change I make, I can send it to them. But I'm not at that point where I'm able to do what they do for me to see myself as I see them.
Cool. Awesome. So as you grow into that leadership role, I think that's going to be awesome. I mean, obviously you're already a leader, right? If you're a business owner, you're a leader. If you're an entrepreneur, you're obviously a thought leader. You can't, it's really...
Or crazy.
Well, a little bit of both, right? People talk about, you got to be delusional. I'm like, heck yeah, I am. I love being delusional. But I'm only delusional to people that don't understand how we think, right? Because like, what in the world? Do you think you're going to be a billionaire in 25 years? I'm like, why wouldn't I be? You know, and it's not about, first of all, people look at things the complete wrong way. Because as a leader, and if whether you're a thought leader or a business owner in that aspect, or a community leader, or philanthropic leader, or whatever the case that you like to actually pursue and be known as, we're working on having a large impact. So if we're able to show how we can humbly build the community together and grow together and invest in people like you do, obviously you got to invest in yourself. I'm actually wearing my shirt that says, I'm not a cheap investment. And so, like, it's really about spreading our impact. How can we help billions of people? How can we do that on a larger scale? And how can, like, you and I help the rest of the world? So how can the community, though, also help you? Like, how can our community support you, whether that's here locally in Omaha or across the globe? How can we support Olokun?
All right. Well, the best way to support me is referrals, or I'm looking for people who are entrepreneurs that are specifically wanting to scale their business to sell. Once you operate on selling, could be literally, you know, packaging it and selling it, or licensing, franchising. There are many ways to sell your business, but once you start thinking on that level, like business planning, you have to have certain structures in place for you to get an actual value that you put into the business. Like these different levers act as multipliers that when business brokers come across, they see, well, this business is producing, you know, a decent amount of revenue and is able to operate through its systems and processes without the owner. Let's pay them for this. And so that's specifically my ask. Other than that, you know, go out to your local, I guess, food bank. Around this time of year, I do a lot of organizing and work around food insecurity. I see that there's a big problem, not only in the city, but the state, in Lincoln as well, where people don't have access to food. And then from there, I'm always able to have larger political conversations with people. Just, you know, I believe that food is that medium. You provide people the space where they feel safe, where they can get a good meal. And then you can start having questions like, well, why is it that there are so many of us that are poor and can't afford food?
So what, is there a food bank that you like the best, or that you spend the most time with?
Center for People in Lincoln. Center for People.
It's called Center for People.
Center for People.
Okay, and how can people reach out to actually help there?
Centerforpeople.org, I believe. If you type in Center for People Lincoln, you'll be able to find them. And just sign up and volunteer. Or if you do have the resources, you know, send a couple dollars their way. They are doing really important work in the community. And, you know, any way that you can help, any way that I can help, I definitely will.
Awesome. And then how can we find you?
You can find me best, I want to say LinkedIn. Just give me a call, 404-647-0201. I'm on other social media sites, but I don't necessarily post too much on there. From my experience, the best return I've got on any type of marketing was through cold call outreach, through networking events, and strategic partnerships. So that is part of my marketing and sales plan that I'm working on, especially with the LinkedIn. So I'm able to pull more clients who are warm leads from all over the world. But the best place right now is just give me a call, schedule a quick consultation or a discovery call. It's on Google Meets at your convenience, 15, 30 minutes, and we can discuss, talk about some of the things you're going through in your business or ways, or you learn more about us, and we can just see if there's any room for us to work together.
Sweet, I love that. I'm going to flip your mindset on the whole posting on social media thing. We're going to work on that. Anyway, awesome, dude. I'm super excited to connect more. I think you're doing awesome things with the community. I'm excited to support you, and I know the community will rally behind you to support you as well. So thank you for coming in.
All righty, thank you.